Well, hey, I didn't see you there. It's good to have you back again. That's right, it's time for another episode of Monopoly here. We're in Season 2, if you forgot. It's episode 15. This is March 4th of 2024. We're going to do this thing live. So, let's go out there and let's have a good show, why don't we? Travis, are you ready? The hell does that sound like a Wookiee?
That's you.
Wookiee Coulter. All right.
Give me a cookie.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to do this then in 3, 2, 1.
I'm back.
Yes, Monopoly, the world's most popular board game, is now Monopoly the TV game. Here comes the players. The red player. Player Brandon. Here comes Mr. Monopoly, Jason Myers. And here comes our host, Ferguson.
Well, hello there once again. It is time for another episode of Monopoly, coming to you live straight out of Grandma's game closet inside of the MVG production house. I'm your host, Turd Ferguson, and as I always say, you sure as hell aren't. It is good to have everybody back again, although I think right now we've only got about a third of Travis because all I heard was Megadon. So hopefully he'll get that worked out here in a little bit. But other than that, it's good to have everybody back. We have got one heck of a champion here. He sits inside of the red podium. He comes back to us 4 games in a row. He's won $85,795. Please welcome back to the Monopoly stage, Mr. Kyle Hirshon. So yeah, Kyle, it's good to have you back here. You were one of the few people that have ever won 4 games in a row, and for you to do it in the first 4 appearances that you've ever made on the show, that's a little something extra to be said for that. So congratulations to you on that. Heck of a ride, right?
I know, it's been crazy. And that last game where I won the 50 grand, that was just even crazier.
Well, and hey, you have a chance to do something tonight that only our 1/3 of an announcer, Travis Coulter, has done, and that's to win 5 in a row. Do you think you've got what it takes to do that?
Well, I've got some tough competition, but let's just see what happens.
And we will see what happens, so we wish you the best of luck, Kyle. We're going to go and meet your first challenger. He comes to us from the yellow podium, or the gold podium, according to who you have. I've got one person in the ear over here saying yellow. I've got one person in the ear over here saying gold. So you decide what color it is. We'll decide what shape this person is in, because, ladies and gentlemen, from Toronto, Canada, it is Mark Lumpy Dumper Leota.
Hello.
Mark, welcome to the Monopoly stage for the first time this season.
Thank you, Jordan. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here. So, yeah, you come to us from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. What do you do up there besides shovel snow 11 months out of the year?
Well, right now I do stocking of potato chips with the PepsiCo company.
Oh, okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I have seen that they make some pretty decent money. So, although it would be Canadian money, and that's pretty much like this Monopoly money we're giving out tonight, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, so the big question here, though, is, Mark, do you have what it takes to take down Kyle and end his streak?
Well, we'll see what happens, but Kyle's a tough competitor, and I should know about this from playing against him in past games over the years. So,
well, I can tell you, the lady over here to my left, Miss Erin Ferguson, she has just claimed that no, you do not have what it takes. So I'm sorry to let you know about that, Mark, but hopefully you can overcome that.
All right, well, we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Good luck to you. And finally, we go over to our green podium. And if any of you think it's anything but green, we're going to talk after the show inside of Grandma's dressing room. But this man comes to us from the state of North Carolina. He owns this whole thing, but he doesn't own this show. It is the head chief in charge, Brandon Scruggs.
Hey, Terry, what's going on?
You know, we're just trying to make a living over here by hosting game shows for the fun of it. So, and you know, hey, we do it without doing true, false, yes, no, or is it odd or even? So, you know, hey, I think that makes us pretty successful. But yeah, so Brandon, I know you come to us from North Carolina. What is it that you do for a living?
Well, when I'm not busy keeping this ship afloat here, I actually work at a casino as a table games dealer.
Okay, well, you mentioned that about keeping this this ship, or sometimes some people may say the shit afloat because of the way most of us act around here. You're up over 1,500 subscribers, and how many videos would you say altogether between the on-demand and the live streams you up to at this point?
Honestly, according to what the page says, I'm over 1,700 videos, so probably close to like 1,800 total of everything. So it's been a project.
So it would probably be fair to say there is a reasonable chance that by come year's end, you may be pushing 2,000 videos total.
Yeah, there's a chance, but like I said, I'd have to up production probably to about at least 4 videos a week on my end, and that's kind of hard to do right now considering how limited my schedule is. But I'm trying, and I'm still trying to put out the best content that I can for the folks at home who've given any amount of time to watching what we do here. So as part of it, I genuinely say thank you so much.
Well, hey, we thank you for what you do, and we've got out in our live chat, we try to mention that every once in a while. One of our very loyal watchers, Mutzer, has said, mentioning about Monopoly being part of the 2024 Game Show Marathon. Hey, I've been pushing for it. I would love to see it in there, but of course, Brandon will be letting us know in the not too distant future what that's looking like. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel to hear all about it. So best of luck to all you players today. Let's play a little Monopoly.
Yeah.
All right, players. So, of course, this is the acquisition phase of our game. So here, of course, we're going to be making our way around the board, stopping at each of the individual colored properties. I will be asking the players a trivia question. They'll be buzzing in, just like we're about to see here. Kyle, go ahead and buzz in for me. Mark, buzz in with a shift 2. Good job, and Scruggs, I think you know. Very good. So they will be buzzing in. If they get the question correct, we're going to give them that dollar value that you see at the bottom of the property there. They get it wrong, we're going to take it away from them. Nobody gets the question right, we'll cut that value in half until someone finally gets the question correct. Once we've made it through all the properties in that group, if someone owns them all, we'll then give them a bonus combined value, and they will take over that property to help later on in the game. If it's owned by multiple people, we'll go into a showdown round, and we'll see what that looks like a little later into the game. So let's get this thing started. Here we go, players. We start with our brown properties and Mediterranean Avenue. This is a $60 property, players. Get those hands-on buzzers. Here comes your first question of the evening. The tourist attractions of which U.S. city include the Peabody Hotel and Graceland? Kyle.
That is Memphis, Tennessee.
That is Memphis. Well done. $60 comes over to you. You have one brown property. Now we move over to the final brown property, which is Baltic Avenue. It's another $60 for this question, players. What was the name of the man-eating plant in Little Shop of Horrors? Brandon.
Dang it, I was going to say Seymour, but that's the guy who owned it.
Sorry, time's up. We got to take that away from you, Kyle or Mark. Yeah, time's up. That would be Audrey 2. Audrey 2.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cut that property now down in half to $30 until we get a correct answer. Here's your next question. What is the first name of the famous designer Armani? Mark.
Giorgio?
Giorgio's correct. $30 comes over to you. Well done. So that means Kyle and Mark, you both own a property here. So we're going to have a showdown between the two of you. Next correct answer is going to take the Monopoly. So here we go. Brandon, you will take a break here while they show down. Kyle and Mark, here's your question. And I swear I'm going in order. In which Canadian city might you glimpse Niagara from the CN Tower? And that's Kyle.
Toronto.
Toronto is correct. I'm sorry, Mark. And that means you have taken the Brown properties, and with that comes $120 of combined value, taking you up to $180. We now make our way. We now make our way over to the lot. Go ahead, Mark.
Actually, I'm not mad. I mean, obviously, Kyle's very smart, so.
That is true. So we continue on now. We're in the light blue properties, and we go to Oriental Avenue. $100 players. Everyone's back in with this question. Which body in our solar system has a diameter of 865,000 miles? Brandon.
The sun?
The sun is correct. $100 comes over to you. You're up to $40. And you have
The big
one.
yellow one's the sun.
The big yellow is the sun. So that's one property for you, Brandon. Next, we move over to Vermont Avenue. $100 here. Next question. According to Norse legend, which bird delivers newborn babies to the home? Mark?
The stork.
The stork is correct. $100 comes to you. You're to $130. So we've got one property for Brandon, one for Mark. Next up is Connecticut Avenue. $120 with this next question. In history, the name of which city in Nebraska was used as the code name of one of the beaches used in the Normandy landings on D-Day? Players, that would be Omaha.
I was
Omaha Beach.
I
All right, we're now going to cut that property value in half. It's now worth $60. Here's your next question. In which U.S. city might you visit Carnegie Hall and Central Park? Brandon.
that would be New York City.
That would be New York. Sorry, Kyle. $60 over to you, Brandon. You're at $100. So now we're going to have a showdown here between Brandon and Mark. Brandon, you're going to need one correct answer to take the Monopoly. Mark, you need two. Kyle, you'll be sitting out here. Here we go. Showdown between Brandon and Mark. In law, what C as in cow is the name for the person to whom a debt is owed? That would be a creditor.
I was thinking that. I didn't trust it.
And I do want to remind players here, you will not lose money when it's a showdown. You can only earn the money. All right, so here we go. Next showdown. Which form of calcium carbonate did Michelangelo use for his statue David? Brandon.
Marble?
Marble is correct. And Brandon, you have taken the light blue properties. With that comes $320 of combined value, taking you up to Travis Coulter's favorite number, $420. We now make our turn onto 2nd Street. And our magenta properties, we start with St. Charles Place. This is a $140 property. All players are back in. Here's your question. In the nursery rhyme about Jack and Jill, which of the two fell down and broke their crown? Mark.
Jack.
It was Jack. $140 to you. You're up to $270. Mark, you have one property. Next, we move over to States Avenue. Once again, $140 for this question. Which word can mean both a college and a group of whales? Kyle.
School?
School is correct. $140 to you. Kyle, you're at $320. You have one property. Mark, you have one property. Next up, we have Virginia Avenue. $160 here for this next question. On the internet, what does IP stand for? Kyle.
Internet protocol.
Internet Protocol is correct. 160, you're up to 480. So, Kyle, you own 2 properties. Mark, you own 1. Brandon, you'll be sitting out for this showdown. Kyle, you need 1 correct answer. Mark, you're going to need 2. Here comes that showdown question. Despite its name, the slow worm is really a type of which reptile? Kyle.
Snake?
No, I'm sorry. Mark, want a shot?
Go
ahead.
I guess I'll try. Inchworm?
No, it was lizard. It's a lizard.
Oh,
Lizard. Lizard, okay.
But no money lost. So here we go. Next question. Which Hollywood film star performed in a pop band called the Bacon Brothers?
Oh, God.
Kyle.
Kevin Bacon.
6 steps it is. Kevin Bacon. Meaning, Kyle, you have taken the magenta properties. With that comes $440 of combined value, taking you up to $920.
I can only imagine Bingo's reaction for that question now.
There you go. Now we move over to the orange properties in St. James Place. This is a $180 question. All players are involved. In which men's gymnastics event are 2 wires suspended over 5 meters from the floor? Well, players, that would be the stationary rings.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so all right, players, we're going to be cutting that property value now down in half. It's now a $90 question until we get a correct answer. In which country would you find Bucharest as the capital? Kyle.
that is Hungary.
No, I'm sorry, that's
Oh,
incorrect.
no,
That cost
that's
you 90.
Budapest.
Mark or Brandon?
Oh, no.
Bucharest.
Bucharest is the capital of Romania.
And
Romania.
that's where my family's from. How the fuck did I not know that?
Oh, boy, Kyle, you're going to be in trouble now.
All right, so
Yeah,
another
yeah.
$90 question here, players. Established by the United Nations in 1946, which global organization aims to eradicate? And that's Kyle.
NATO?
No, I'm sorry, that cost you 90. I'll complete the question.
Jeez.
Aims to eradicate preventable diseases.
Oh,
Mark.
Would that be UNICEF?
No, I'm sorry, it cost you 90 as well. Brandon, would you like a shot?
I'll pass.
Well,
I think
players,
I know what it is.
that would be the World Health Organization, also known as WHO.
Oh, World Health Organization. I should have known that.
All right, we're kind of
Guys, wanna
stuck
play Mario
here.
Kart?
We're a little stuck here, so here we go. Another $90 question. Cheviot and Romney are breeds of which farm animal? That would be the sheep. Yeah.
Ah,
Y'all are doing bad on this property.
yeah, we were doing bad.
$90 for another question. Which U.S. city is Benjamin Franklin's birthplace and the venue of a... And that's Kyle.
Philadelphia?
No, sorry, cost you 90. I'll complete the question.
Jesus Christ.
Which U.S. city is Benjamin Franklin's birthplace and the venue of a famous 1773 Tea Party?
Oh,
Mark.
Boston.
Boston is correct. $90 back to you. You're up to $270. You own 1 property. We finally get to
leave St. Jimmy's place.
we finally get to move over to the home of yours truly, Tennessee Avenue. $180, players, for this question. Of which country is the volcanic island Krakatoa a part of? Kyle.
Oh God, Indonesia.
Say again?
Indonesia.
Indonesia is correct. $180 takes you up to $830. So 1 property for Mark, 1 for Kyle. We now move over to New York Avenue. This is a $200 property. Here's your question. Which cartoon family lived at 345 Stone Cave Road, Bedrock? Kyle.
Flintstone.
The Flintstones is correct. That takes you up to $1,030. All right, so Kyle, you own 2 properties. Mark, you've got 1. Brandon, nothing there, so you'll be sitting out here. Mark, you need 2 correct answers. Kyle, only 1.
You should hear our hit song "Anarchy in Bedrock" by
There you
Green
go.
Jello.
Here's your question. In which decade was the pocket calculator invented? Mark.
I'm gonna say the 70s.
The 70s is correct. 1971 to be specific. So now, Kyle and Mark, whoever gets the next question right takes the orange properties. Who is Debbie Reynolds' famous actress daughter? Kyle.
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher is correct, and Kyle has taken the orange property group. With that comes $560 of combined value, taking him up to $1,590. We now make our turn onto 3rd Street. We start at the home of John Bergman's family, Kentucky Avenue. $220 players, everyone's involved with this question. In the human body, what happens to the rate of the heartbeat during exercise? Brandon.
Increases.
It does increase. $220 to you. You're up to $640. You own 1 red property. We now move over to the home.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. Move over to Indiana Avenue, the home of John Bergman himself, because he doesn't want to live in the state where birds fly upside down, because there's nothing worth shitting on. So, here we go. $220 for this question. In physics, what P as in Paul is a triangular block of glass that splits a beam of white, and that's Brandon.
Prism.
Prism is correct. $220 to you. You're up to $860. You have 2 properties. Now we move over to Illinois Avenue. This is a $240 property, players. Next question. How many times was Marilyn Monroe nominated for an Academy Award?
No.
Well, you should have said that as your answer, Kyle. It was none.
Oh, none.
0.
Absolute 0. All right, we're going to cut the property value in half. It's now $120. Next question. In pop music, complete the title of this Blondie hit. Heart of Brandon.
Glass.
Glass is correct. $120 to you there. You also own all of the red properties, giving you the red group. $680 of combined value brings you up to $1,660. We now go into the yellow property group. We start with Atlantic Avenue. $260 players for this question. Everyone's involved. In literature, which Charles Dickens novel has a central character known as Pip? Kyle.
I think that was Great Expectations.
Great Expectations is correct. $260 to you. You're up to $1,850. 1 property for you. Next up is Ventnor Avenue. $260 with this question. Traditionally, is red or white wine used in the French dish coq au vin? Kyle.
Red.
Red is correct. You're up to $2,110. You own 2 properties. Now we go to Marvin Gardens. $280 players for this question. In nature, what C as in cow is the embryo stage of a butterfly's life cycle? Kyle.
Cocoon?
No, I'm sorry. Cocoon is not correct.
Shit.
Mark or Brandon? Brandon.
Caterpillar.
No, I'm sorry. That
Ooh.
take away there. Down to $1,380. Mark, you want a shot?
Caterpillar was actually going to be my guess, so I have nothing now.
Well, you got buzzed after all that nonsense. The answer was chrysalis. Chrysalis.
Son of a... Okay.
All right, so we now cut the property value in half. It's now worth $140, players. In fashion, was the farthingale worn in the Elizabethan or Georgian period? Brandon.
Georgian.
No, I'm sorry. Cost you $140. Kyle.
Elizabethan.
Elizabethan is correct. You get the $140. You own all of the properties there, which means you get that property group and the combined value of $800, taking you up to $2,770. We now turn on to 4th Street. We start here with a very specific avenue. I know it gets old. It's Pacific Avenue. $300 players. Everybody's involved with this question. In pop music, which American record label was founded by Berry Gordy? Kyle.
Motown?
Motown is correct. $300 comes to you. You're up to $3,070. Next up is the home of Brandon Scruggs himself. It's North Carolina Avenue. $300 for this question. In which century was the tea bag invented? And no, not that one. Players, that would be the 20th century, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes, the 20th century. Go figure. All right. So we're going to cut that now in half. It's $150, players, for this question. How many symphonies did the composer Tchaikovsky complete during his lifetime? Was it 6, 7, or 8? Well, I think Sylvester Stallone just had a stroke over there. Correct answer was 6. All right.
6.
Yeah, still $150, players. Next question. Which female scientist discovered polonium, naming it after... And that's Kyle.
Marie Curie?
Marie Curie is correct. $150 to you. You're up to $32.20. All right, we now move over, and you have 2 properties. We now move over to the home of the president, Pennsylvania Avenue. $320 with this question. In history, who assumed the title Führer of Germany after the death of President... And that is Kyle.
Oh, no, I got confused. Was it?
Oh, I'm sorry. No answer there. 2,900. I'll finish the question. After the death of President von Hindenburg in 1934.
Damn it.
Mark.
Hitler?
It was Hitler. All
I got
right.
confused with the question.
$320 brought over to you. That's worth $590. And you have 1 property. So Kyle has 2. Mark has 1. Brandon, you'll be resting here. Kyle, you only need 1 correct answer. Mark, you're going to need 2 to take this property group. This is a big one for you, Mark. Here's the first question. In Greek architecture, is an entablature above or below a column? Mark?
Above?
Above is correct.
Ooh.
All right, next correct answer takes the green group. Which city in China is the largest in area? Mark?
Beijing?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
Be Shanghai.
Oh, Shanghai.
Yep. All right, here we go. Still looking for the next correct answer to take the property group. Here we go. Which country did the rock group NXS come from? Kyle.
Australia, mate.
Australia is correct, and Kyle has another property group. He takes the greens, and it's $920 of combined value, bringing him up to $3,820. We now move over to our final color group. This is our dark blues, and we start with Park Place. $350. Everyone's involved. Here comes your question. Which Q, as in quick, is a drug obtained from the bark of the Kenosha tree, which was once commonly used to treat malaria? Kyle.
Quilinol.
No, I'm sorry. Takes you down to $34.70. Marker, Brandon.
Don't know.
I love that though, Kyle. Quilinol.
Well,
Q in it.
the thing is, I thought you were on the right track for a minute. It was quinine.
Why not?
Oh,
Quinine.
Never.
All right, we're now going to have to take that property value in half, $175, players. Here comes the next question. What part of the human body makes up the majority of household dust? Brandon.
Skin.
We can accept skin or dead skin sales. Yes. $175 comes over to you. You're at to $14.15. Now, finally, we had our last property. This is the big one, Boardwalk. Players, it's a $400 question. Here we go. What was the first name of Birdseye? The inventor, and that's Kyle.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, that's going to cost you $400. I'll finish the question. The inventor of commercial frozen food processing. Yeah, that would be Clarence. Clarence Birdseye.
Such a 20s name.
Right. All right, so we now cut the property value in half to $200 until we get a correct answer. In geometry, pi r squared is the formula to determine the area of which shape? Brandon.
That would be a sphere, I believe.
Okay, I'm told by my person that's correct. So was initially looking at circle, but we will take sphere. $200 comes to you, Brandon. You now own both properties, giving you the dark blues and $750 of combined value, taking you up to $2,365. And that brings us to the end of the acquisition phase. Let's take a look at where things stand. Right now, in third place with no properties is Mark Leota at $590. In second place with 3 property groups and $2,365 is Brandon Scruggs. And in first place is our current champion. He has 5 property groups and $3,070. It's Kyle Hirshon. We're going to take our first commercial break of the evening. While we're doing that, the players are going to be spending their money, making upgrades to their property, spending $50 to put houses and hotels on. And when we come back, it's going to be the 15-minute big money round to find out who goes on to our bonus game to see if they can win $50,000 by going once around the block right here on your favorite board game that's now a game show. That's right. It's Monopoly. welcome back to Monopoly here on the MVG network. It's good to have everybody back here again. All right. We have made some big property moves here during our commercial break. So let's take a look at that real quick. Kyle Hirshon has put hotels on all of his properties except for the Browns, and he put one house on Baltic Avenue. And then Brandon Scruggs, the only other person that owns any property here, was able to put hotels on everything. So that's where we stand there, meaning right now, money-wise, Kyle is now in third place with $20. Brandon is in second at $165, and Mark Leota is in first at $590. We do want to go ahead and update everybody so that they understand. As we went into commercial break, where the judge had initially accepted sphere as the correct answer for the question about pi r squared, after more research, that was deemed incorrect. So off camera, we went ahead and asked, we took money away. We went ahead and asked another question, which Brandon was the one that was able to get the next question correct. So all that happened was a $200 difference in his score. So that's what happened off camera, just so you know. And for those of you that may wind up putting something up in the live chat or on demand later saying, hey, that's not the correct answer, we fixed it. So with that being said, it is that time. It's one of everybody's favorite times to bring out one of my top, I would say, 19 favorite people in the world. He is our Mr. Monopoly. It is my dear friend, Mr. Jason Myers.
So who are the other 18 then?
That's what I want to know. Who's the other 18? I might need to start kicking some ass.
Well, we'll just start with, if you remember, just to kind of give you the first few. Remember, there's 7 people in my household besides myself, so they would of course have to rank up there. But yeah, but you know, I got mad love for you. You're a good friend, and you are a hell of an announcer, a Mr. Monopoly, and a host in your own right. But welcome back again. Tell us, what are you thinking about the game so far?
It's gonna get real interesting, especially between Kyle and Brandon, because both of those players are real juggernauts, both behind the podium and off the podium. Mark might be a sleeper pick if anybody's out there wanting to bet. So place your bets.
Hey, and that's true, but like you said, Kyle, he's been on a pretty impressive run so far here on Monopoly.
Indeed. He's only one win away from getting keys.
Well, and you know, that's something to talk about, because here in Season 2, we got a little something new brewing. Of course, Kyle has won 4 games, and if he can win his 5th game in a row tonight, we've got a little something special for him. Travis Coulter, tell him what it is.
Good job, Travis.
Travis Coulter, he might be busy pooting right now, so we'll give him a second.
You know, it helps to unmute. I was trying to make sure I was going to sound right, but here, guess.
So Travis, tell him what he can win.
Hey, it's a new car!
It's a new car!
Get ready to elevate your driving experience with the breathtaking 2024 Kia Telluride with 291 horsepower on a 3.8-liter V6 engine. This SUV delivers a near-luxury experience with all the power and options of a top-of-the-line model. The Telluride seats 7 passengers comfortably and comes with heated and cooled adjustable leather seats, 4-side camera system, push-button start, and Harman Kardon premium audio with satellite radio, Bluetooth, and navigation on a 12.3-inch screen. This SUV is worth $47,385.
That is right. So, Kyle, that can be in your future. It is a beautiful model of SUV. All you got to do is be the second person ever to win 5 games in a row right here on Monopoly, and that SUV is yours. It's got to sound good.
It does. I need a new car.
All right. Well, you
and
can.
Guess what?
What?
If you pay a little extra, we'll throw in Coolidge seats.
Yes.
Coolidge seats.
Coolidge. Yes, that's a, trust me, that's an inside joke. Let's just say during practice that it was heated and Coolidge seats. Because words English hard. But yes, so that's what we've got looking at there. So we look forward to seeing if Kyle can do that. So it is time for us to play the 15-minute big money round, and here is how it works. So we are going to be taking these players around the board as many times as we possibly can over the next 15 minutes. We'll have our Mr. Monopoly rolling the dice for us on there, telling us where it is that we need to go. And, of course, I'm getting some stuff set up over here. So we will stop wherever that is. If it lands on a property, then the person that owns that property will get a question. You'll see it pop up on the screen based on the upgrades they have on that property, how much the question's worth. They get the question right, the money's theirs. They get it wrong, they don't lose it, but it does become a toss-up for the other two players. That's a good chance to make up some money. If they get the question right, they get the money. But unfortunately, if they miss it, they are going to lose the money. But do keep in mind that money will not go to the person that owns the property originally. We also have some other very fantastic spaces out there. We've got our utilities, which is 100 times the roll. We've got what we all know is Turd's favorite places to land, chance and community chest, which there are some new cards in the deck now. And then one of our favorite places, it's the railroads, where there's a chance to do a hostile takeover. We'll learn more about that as we go. So if you guys are ready, I know I sure as hell am. Let's play the 15-minute big money round.
Yay!
So with that being said, Mr. Monopoly, Jason Myers, whenever you give me what that first roll is and we make the move, that 15-minute clock will start.
We start off tonight's proceedings with 5 and a 2 for a 7.
So we are on a chance, and Jason, this is why you're number 19. So, we draw our first card this evening, and it says advance to Ventnor Avenue. So we're going to be flying ourselves around the board to get over to Ventnor Avenue. I may have went one too many there. Oh, I went two too many. So let's come back. All right, tell us about it, Jason.
Well, it's one of Kyle's properties, one of many he has on the board. It's worth $11.50 if he knows the answer to this question.
All right, Kyle. So for $1,150, let's see, where are we at? Oh, here we go. When a boat is sailing close-hauled, is the wind blowing from ahead, behind, or from the side?
I'm gonna say it's. Oh God, it's.
I'm sorry, time is up. So now Mark or Brandon, the toss-up's for you. Mark.
Behind?
No, I'm sorry, and that's going to cost you $11.50.
Oh.
All right, Brandon, would you like a shot?
Repeat the question because you broke up like I couldn't hear half of it.
Okay, when a boat is sailing close-hauled, is the wind blowing from ahead, behind, or from the side? Go ahead, Brandon.
I'll say ahead.
And you are correct. That takes you up to $13.15. Mr. Monopoly, next roll, please.
5 and a 3 for an 8.
All right, an 8. That takes us to the short line.
Oh God!
Oh boy.
All aboard, everybody! This is hostile takeover time. One correct answer will give you a chance to take over somebody's property. Good luck.
All right, players, here's your question. Which A as in apple is a respiratory condition leading to constriction? And that's Kyle.
Asthma.
Asthma is correct. Kyle, where would you like to attack?
I would like to attack the Blues.
Light or dark? He owns them both.
The Dark Blues.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. Our first question here, we're on Park Place. You get the question right, we'll then move over to Boardwalk. So you're going to need to get 2 correct. If you miss, then you are going to pay the rent that is on that property. So starting here, you're risking $1,500 on this question. Mm-hmm. In architecture, is the early English style considered to be Gothic or Baroque?
Gothic.
Gothic is correct. So now we move over to Boardwalk. $2,000 on the line here. If you miss, get it right, the property's yours and you'll get the combined value. In the television program The Lone Ranger, what was the name of Tonto's horse?
That is Silver.
No, I'm sorry. It is Scout. So that cost you $2,000, and that's going to put $2,000 into Brandon Scruggs' bank, and that means this hostile takeover is over.
It's over.
All right, Mr. Monopoly, next roll, please.
1 and 4 for a 5.
And of course, we have passed go, giving everybody $200, but then we also just hit the income tax. Tell them about it.
Well, it's one of those times, players, where everything you just earned from Go gets paid right back. Sorry.
All right, $200 taken from you. All that money does go into the free parking jackpot. Here we go, Mr. Monopoly. Next roll, please.
Doubles, hey! Wow, Seamus, really? Wow, just wow. 2 and 2 for 4.
Oh man, hey, you need a vacation. All right, we've hit Vermont Avenue.
Seamus needs a vacation, and Brandon needs to get this question right for $550.
Brandon, at a ranch owned by which pop star did Elizabeth Taylor marry Larry Fortnitsky in 1991?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's correct. $550 up to you. You're up to $38.65. Next roll, please.
4 and 3 for a 7.
There's that damn 7 again. And there's Pennsylvania Railroad.
Not again.
Yep, again.
Good job, Seamus.
Hostile takeover time again. Players, all aboard if you want to try to take over somebody's property.
All right, players, here we go. In classical music, who composed La Boheme? Is it Puccini or Bizet? And that's Mark.
Bizet.
No, I'm sorry. Kyle gets in.
Puccini.
Puccini is correct. Kyle, where are we attacking?
Let's try for the Reds this time.
The Reds. All right, we move over to Kentucky Avenue. $1,050 at risk here. Here is the first hostile takeover question. In food, a Wiener Schnitzel traditionally consists of a cutlet of which meat coated with breadcrumbs and fried?
It's pork.
No, I'm sorry. It's veal.
Oh, no!
Which means $1,050. We are going to take that away from you, and we're going to pass that over to Brandon. And this hostile takeover is over.
It's over. God damn it.
Oh boy.
All right, so
I'm
we're
not having a good time.
no. All right, next roll, please.
Doubles again. Okay, Seamus.
At least that one was better.
Right. 4 and 4 for an 8 as I test Seamus's eyesight.
All right, we're now over at Marvin Gardens.
All right, Kyle, time to recoup some of that money you just lost. $1,200 if you could get this question.
Kyle, the first Boer War in South Africa took place during the reign of which British monarch?
That would be King Edward.
No, I'm sorry, Mark or Brandon? That'd be Queen Victoria. All right, nothing doing there. Next roll, Mr. Monopoly. We're at 8 minutes left in the round.
All right, Seamus, remember, it's that button when the double pops up. That one. Got it? Good. 6 and 4 for a 10.
Ooh, big one. And that takes us to Boardwalk.
And there's a big $2,000 on the line, and it could be Brandon's if he gets this question.
All right, Brandon. Which Shakespeare play features Banquo, who is told by witches that his sons will be kings?
Hamlet?
No, I'm sorry. Toss up Kyle and Mark. Kyle.
Macbeth.
It is Macbeth. $2,000 coming over to you, Kyle. You're at negative 1030. Next roll, Mr. Monopoly.
2 and 4 for a 6.
Oh, and we have passed go. $600, and we have hit the Reading Railroad.
Oh boy.
Well, there we go again, players. All aboard if you want to try to take over somebody's property. All it takes is one correct answer.
All right, here is your hostile takeover question. In the animal kingdom, from which continent does the orangutan come? Brandon.
Africa.
No. Kyle or Mark? Mark.
Australia?
Nope. Kyle? Go ahead.
Indonesia.
I'm sorry to say that Indonesia is not a continent. It would be it would be the continent of Asia. Well,
I just had an Africa moment.
that hostile takeover never happened. Next roll, please, Mr. Monopoly.
5 and a 3 for an 8.
All right, that takes us to States Avenue.
All right, Kyle, you're slowly approaching and getting out of the hole. Here's a chance to get even closer. 750 on the line.
Please.
All right, Kyle. In the nursery rhyme beginning, "Hey diddle diddle," which animal laughed to see such sport?
Oh my God. Was it a dog?
Yes, we will accept dog. It was the little dog, but we will accept dog on that one. You're at negative 80. All right, next roll, please.
4 and 5 for a 9.
And that takes us to chance. Great. All right, this chance card tells us we're going to add 6 to the next dice roll. So give us our next dice roll, Mr. Monopoly, and add 6 to it.
Got it.
Possibly 2.
From boxcars.
7 plus 6 is 13.
11. Oh, 13.
So we're going to go 12 and 1. We've hit the short line.
Wow. Once again, hostile takeover time. Somebody needs to get this question right to stand a chance to take over somebody's property.
All right, here's your question. In astrology, the star sign Scorpio is represented by what creature? Kyle.
Scorpion.
The scorpion's correct. Where are we attacking?
Well, I gotta try and make some money, so let's go with the dark blues.
All right, you know what that means. We start at Park Place, $1,500 at risk on this question.
Mm-hmm.
If A is Alpha and Z is Zulu, what is C?
That is Alpha, Beta.
I'm sorry, time is up. And again, it was C. Gamma starts with a G. So that means you have just lost $1,500, which moves over to Brandon. And this hostile takeover is over.
It's over.
The correct answer there, C, is for Charlie. All right, next roll, please, Mr. Monopoly. 3:45 left in the round.
Bad night.
2 and a 6 for an 8.
Hey, get some of that money back! Yeah.
Oh, so we passed go, took another $200 to the players, and we just hit the Reading Railroad again.
It's all about the railroads this episode. Does anybody capitalize on it?
All right, players, here is your hostile takeover question. Complete the title of this James Bond film, Live and Blank. Brandon.
Let Die.
Let Die is correct. All right, where are we attacking?
I will take a shot at the pinks, please.
All right, Magenta Properties.
Magenta, pink, whichever shade you got.
All right, we will start here at St. Charles. This is $750 you're risking. Here's your first question. On the World Wide Web, what country is represented by .ZA? That's Z as in zebra, A as in apple.
Is that New Zealand?
No, I'm sorry. It's South Africa. That means we're going to take $750 from you and pass it over to Kyle. And with that, that means this hostile takeover is over.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Monopoly, give us another roll to another railroad, if you wouldn't mind. 2:15 left in the round.
If a 4 pops up, I swear. Oh, God!
We just landed on Pennsylvania Railroad.
Unbelievable.
I swear to
All right,
God.
players, let's go ahead. Time is running short. Here's your question. In the human body, where is the largest muscle? And that's Mark.
Oh, oh, brother, the elbow.
No. Kyle?
That's in the butt.
It is in the butt. Where are we attacking?
I need money. I need the dark blues.
Yeah, we're going to try to race over
Yeah,
there.
John Justice is Israel Romania.
One too many. So we back up. Starting at Park Place, $1,500 at risk. Here's your first question. What nationality was Louis Braille, who invented the system of writing named after him? After the system of writing named after him, excuse me.
He was French.
No, I'm sorry. He was from Rome. He was from Rome. So that means you have just lost $1,500. That moves over to Brandon. And this hostile takeover is over. But I'm sure another one's right around the bend. Mr. Monopoly, next roll, please.
Doubles again. This time it's a 2.
Oh,
Okay. I want to put a stop on this real quick. I'm going to hold the clock. I made a mistake. I looked at the wrong question, so I have to take that amount back away from Scrokes because Kyle was correct. So we've simply fixed it. So
Rome's
my
not a nationality.
my apologies. Trying to look, and this is pretty small type. So, all right, so now we move over. I'm not going to start the clock again until the hostile takeover is complete. So,
Okay.
just to be fair, because the time ran there. So, we're now at Boardwalk, so $2,000 is at risk here. Let's get that typed in. All right, here is that question. In the animal kingdom, trapdoor and nursery web are both varieties of which creature?
Spiders.
Spider is correct. And with that, that means, Kyle, you have taken the dark blue properties. That gives you $750 of combined value, bringing you up to $120. And just as a reminder to all players, Brandon does not lose that amount. So with that being said, this hostile takeover is finished successfully.
It's finally over.
All right, so with that, Mr. Monopoly, give us our next roll, and I'll restart the clock.
2 3 4 5.
Oh no!
All right, so that's $200 for pass and go. We've hit the income tax. That's again going to cost $200 apiece. All right, next roll. Running tight on time.
Doubles. 5 and 5 for a 10.
And that takes us to Virginia Avenue.
All right, Kyle, a chance to get some more money on the plus side. $900.
All right, Kyle, in politics, Checkpoint Charlie was one of the main crossing points between the east and west of which divided European city?
Berlin.
And Berlin is correct, $900 to you. And that sound means we have come to the end of our big money round. Let's take a look and see where we sit at this moment. So right now in third place, we've got Mark Leota at negative $160. In second place, our champion, Kyle Hirshon, with $1,020. And in first place is our green player, Brandon Scruggs, at $6,065. We're going to take our final commercial break of the evening. As we do, we are going to be selling back all of those upgrades the players made. We come back, we'll add it to their totals and find out who's moving on to play for up to $50,000 in our bonus game right here on Monopoly. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back here to Monopoly. Man, we have had quite the game going on here tonight, and it's about to be over, and we're about ready for our bonus game. Let's see who's headed there. So we start with our player that finished in third place at the end of our big money round, Mr. Mark Leota. He had negative $160. He didn't own anything, so unfortunately tonight, Mark, you finish at negative $160. Next, we move on to our player that was in second place, Mr. Kyle Hirshon, our current champion. He had $1,020. We sold back all of his upgrades that he had at the end of the round, which netted him an additional $3,550. When we add that on to his total, he finishes tonight with $4,570. We then move over to our green player, Brandon Scruggs. He finished that last round in first place at $6,065. We sell back his upgrades that he still had a hold of, which nets him an additional $1,500. It's a little bit anticlimactic. We add that to his total. He has $7,565. Brandon Scruggs, you're our new Monopoly champion.
Wow, did not expect that.
All right, Brandon, we'll come back and talk to you a little bit more in just a moment. First, we're going to move over to our yellow or gold player, Mr. Mark Leota. Man, you finished at negative 160. You started off the game not too bad, at least being in the running for some properties, and then just the bed was shit. Tell me, what happened, Mark?
Okay, so like it's not that I was guessing badly; it was just bad luck with the questions. But then again, that's how it happens. It tends to happen sometimes here on the show, as well as the other shows here on MVG, for that matter. But I still had a fun time nonetheless.
Well, hey, we were definitely glad to have you here. Of course, that now puts you, quote unquote, on the leaderboard. Although, unfortunately, it puts you in the negatives. And currently that would have you in 17th place overall with negative $160. But we still have 10 episodes left in the regular season, so there is still plenty of time for you to come back and be able to make a run for that top 9 and the Tournament of Champions. Did you have a good time, Mark?
Like I just said a moment ago, I had a good time here, Turd. I will see if I can get back here again before the season ends and hopefully redeem myself.
Well, we definitely hope you will come back. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to give it up there for Mark Leota. Good sport. Good to have him here. He is a good player, even though tonight just wasn't in his fortune. And now we move over to Kyle Hirshon. He is now our former champion. Kyle, we go ahead and give you that $4,570. Unfortunately, we're not giving you the keys to the car. Excuse me there. And we add that on to what you've won so far for the season. You are very easily in first place over on the leaderboard at $90,365. So, Kyle, I think we all know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What do you think ultimately was your undoing tonight?
I was just having a lot of bad luck, bad luck. A lot of these questions were tough. And I guess, just got the better of me. I mean, I'm not upset at, how everything turned out. I mean, I said from the beginning that this was going to be a tough game, and I know Brandon's a fierce competitor, so my hat's off to him for kicking my ass tonight. But, I leave here tonight knowing that it's going to be a while before people touch my record.
And that is very true, seeing as how you were the first person ever to crack the 50K in the bonus game. I'll ask you one other question. Now that the game has ended and you see the difference in dollar amounts between yourself and Brandon, do you think your strategy on the properties that you were going after on the 10 million hostile takeovers we had tonight, would it have changed any?
I could have definitely given it a bit more thought, but I was like trying to figure out, okay, more money now that I really should have gotten a bit more strategic. So my strategy was a bit flawed than usual, but at the end of the day, you pick what you pick, and that's what you get. So, again, I can't be too upset about everything that happened.
Hey, I absolutely agree. You were a fantastic champion, Kyle. I definitely think we're going to see you back here on the stage again before the regular season ends. And just about, I would almost guess, even if you didn't, there's a darn good chance you'd still finish in the top 9. But you are a fantastic player, and I hope we will see you again before the regular season ends.
Well, you will. I'll be back.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to give it up for now our former champion, Mr. Kyle Hirshon. All right, now that means we head on over to Brandon Scruggs. Brandon, with having less properties there, I definitely feel you coming in. You were concerned, but those hostile takeovers definitely came out in your favor tonight.
Thank God they did, because otherwise I probably would not have stood a chance.
Well,
Given
hey,
the situation that happened.
yeah, you not only stood the chance, but that now is going to take you into our bonus round. Are you ready to go for up to $50,000?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That means it's time for us to go once around the block. All right, this is, of course, one of our favorite times of the evening. Last episode you saw, Mr. Kyle Hirshon was able to take us for the first time ever for $50K. Let's see what Brandon can do tonight. So, of course, Brandon, here is how our bonus game works. And for those of you out there, we're having a great audience tonight watching on the live stream. So, for those of you, maybe you're seeing it for the first time, here's how it goes. Brandon's going to get 5 rolls of the die to try to make it all the way around the board and make it 2 or beyond go. If he can make it beyond go, we'll give him $25,000 for that. But if he can land square on go, we will double that and make it $50,000. Now, it's not just that simple. You're going to need to add 4 additional go to jail spaces on the board in addition to the one that's already in the upper right hand corner. So you're going to be adding 1 to 2nd Street, 1 to 3rd Street, and 2 onto 4th Street to make things a little bit harder. So between St. Charles Place and New York Avenue, where would you like your one to go on 2nd Street?
I would like my first one to go on St. Charles Place.
Okay. And where would you like yours on 3rd Street between Kentucky Avenue and Marvin Gardens?
I'd like this one to go on Atlantic Avenue.
And now we need 2 on 4th Street between Pacific Avenue and Boardwalk.
I'm going to go 1 on Pacific Avenue and the other one on Luxury Tax, please.
All right, we've got those laid down. Of course, I want to remind you, if you can roll doubles at any time on our rock and roller, then we will give you an additional roll. And I also want to remind you that for every space that you can make it around the board, we will give you $100 for those spaces. And you can choose to walk away if you ever feel like you were in trouble. So we've explained it pretty well. It's time to do it. Let's go once around the block. So, Mr. Monopoly, if you will, fire up that rock and roller. And let's get this thing done. You've got your 5 rolls, Brandon. Tell Mr. Monopoly when to stop that rock and roller.
All right, snap.
Right out of the gate, doubles, 2 and 2 for a 4.
Okay.
All right, so $400 in the pot. Your bad roll here is going to be a 7. So would you like to go on or walk away?
We're going to go.
All right, go on. Fire that rock and roller back up. Brandon, tell him when to stop.
All right, please no 7s. Please no 7s. Roll.
5 and a 4 for a 9.
Good.
There you go. All right, we add that on. You're up to $1,300. So you can walk away now. You do not have a bad roll on this next one, so I think I know what you're going to do, but I still got to ask.
We're going to roll.
Okay, I heard the whistle, so...
No bad rolls. No bad rolls.
Yeah, no bad rolls.
Yep, I'm going to play on.
Yes, all right. So here we go. All right. Here we go. Fire up that rock and roller and tell him when to stop.
All right, stop.
6 and 4 for a 10.
I heard that, Travis.
Oh, no.
All right, $1,000 there. We add in $2,300. I want to kind of throw this out there to you. You've got some bad rolls, first of all. A 3, a 7, and an 8. Right now, you have enough money. If you want to walk away from this game, that would put you into the top 9. So just something for you to think about. You can take the 2,300 and walk away, or you still have 3 rolls where you are within earshot of winning that jackpot.
Okay, you said bad rolls were 3.
3, 7, and 8.
Okay. Brain doesn't want to do math. Let's see. That's 6, 5, and 2. So 13 out of 36. It's a 1/3. Just a little bit worse than 1/3 of a chance. Let's play.
All right, he's going to play. That rock and roller is fired up. Best of luck. No 3s, 7s, or 8s.
All right, please. Come on. I'd take a 9 here and be fine with it. Roll. 9 dice.
Doubles, 5 and 5 for a 10.
Yes, let's go.
So we have jumped over those. $1,000 more added in. You're up to 3,300. You've got 3 rolls. If you can stay away from a 5, you are winning at least $25,000 if you think you can stay away from that 5. So it's up to you. Do you go on or do you walk away with a 3,300?
With a 7 away, it's time to roll a 7, Jason. We're fire up that rock and roller.
Yeah, fire it up. We wish you the best. No 5s. Here we go. Tell him when to stop.
Come on, 7. Roll.
6 and 2 for an 8.
Close. I'll take it, though. Still a win.
You did it. That's $25,000, Mr. Scruggs. Well done. And we add that into what you already won in the front game, meaning tonight you're walking away with $32,565 for your first appearance here. That's gotta feel good.
Hell, it does. That is great.
So yeah, and the good news is this: you will be back again next week to defend that championship, and you are now sitting squarely in 4th place over on the leaderboard, having only played 1 game. I know that's got to feel good.
That's a start. Let's see. Hopefully, there's more work to be done. We'll see.
All right. Well, we'll see you again next week. So, Jason, 2 weeks in a row. Well, let's even look back. If we look at what Kyle, that means we have had we've had a bonus game winner now 2 weeks in a row with what Kyle did and now what Scruggs did. So maybe we're off the schneid.
I wouldn't say that too loud. These dice have ears. So,
Well, those dice have eyes. They do not have ears.
I think these dice have ears and eyes.
Well, I'll say
them.
I'll say they've got pips from Great Expectations, but we won't talk about that. So
I'm gonna need some new dice for next week. Then.
yeah, but yeah.
The continent of Indonesia.
So yes, we will check. We will scour long and far on the continent of Indonesia and see if we can find the perfect set of dice for you. But yeah, Jason, it was another great episode here of Monopoly, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. I think we could dub this episode the Hostile Takeover episode. So we counted at least 6 of them that happened. Only one of them was capitalized on. So it was crazy from the jump.
That was absolutely the craziest episode. We've had episodes to where I think even the hostile takeover hasn't been touched, and now that episode, if it was a Friends episode, it would be the one where the hostile takeover was the only thing hit. But yeah,
Like
so
I thought I saw fire coming from some of the railroad spaces.
well, I think that fire was actually coming from Travis Coulter's ass, but we're not going to talk about that. So yeah, but with that being said, man, we cannot say enough how much we appreciate here both at MVG Productions and Grandma's Game Closet that you guys support what we do. It has been amazing watching the live chat and seeing the numbers stay as high as they have this week, and we hope that you guys will come back each and every week on Monday nights, 11:10 Central, as long as nothing pops up, and come back and watch what we're doing. We're having a great time here. We got 10 episodes left here in the regular season. Next week will be episode 16. Brandon Scruggs will be back to defend that championship, and we hope you'll be back here to watch it all unfold. Make sure that you like
Robert,
this.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Robert, just for clarification, we can't guarantee the next episode will be Seamus free. It depends on how many pints of Guinness he had before we can go to air.
This is true.
We're getting close to St. Patrick's Day, and That's just
Yeah.
because he likes to take time off, and we have to deal with the apprentices. And well,
Also depends on
it's usually never a good time.
This is very true, but yeah, so again, as always, we thank you for being here. Make sure you like the video. If you don't, send us a comment out there. Tell us what it is that you don't like about it, because, hey, we're all about listening and making changes as necessary to make these programs that we put out there for you even more fun and more exciting to be able to watch, whether it's on demand or on our live streams. And again, remember, we're getting close to live stream number 100, where Brandon Scruggs is going to get roasted. That's right. He is going to get roasted, toasted, and burnt to an absolute crisp by all of us here at MVG Productions. So you're going to want to be here for that for sure. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. And, of course, as I always ask, go out, find 2 other people that are not a part of the channel already and ask them to subscribe as well. Hey, I know that some of you have been asking, hey, how can I be a part of this? All you got to do, go to the Facebook page. There's going to be a little application there. We're going to ask you some questions. Make sure you are who you say you are, and make sure you really are a game show fan. There'll be a little bit of vetting of you, and if you seem like a good fit, hey, who knows? You could be the next person that's here on the stage taking on the likes of Brandon and Kyle here on Monopoly and all of the other great game shows we do at MVG Productions. So
the link to the Facebook page is in the banner of the YouTube channel here, so check it out.
Absolutely check it out, because you can keep up with the things that are going to be going on. Again, Thursday night, make sure you tune in. We'll have Sorry the Game Show. We are winding down the regular season. Things are getting hot and heavy there, so make sure you tune in for that. And there will probably be some other stuff coming up, so make sure if you subscribe to the channel and you make sure that you sign up for those notifications, you'll know when we're going live and when Brandon puts up all of the great on-demand content that is up there so many times each and every week. But that's all we've got for now. So until we come back here to see if we can go once around the block once again, he was Jason Myers, I'm Turd Ferguson, and you sure as hell aren't. We'll see you back here next time for another episode of Monopoly. Until then, take care and bye for now.
Oh.